My dear friends, hello and welcome to home practice. For today, in terms of equipment, it's good to have with us one chair, two bricks if available, and blankets. Today you will notice that my props that I'm sitting are a bit higher than usual. I have added 4 foam blocks and 2 blankets. Now if you can make that shape, it's good. If not, use whatever you need to. You can even choose to sit on a chair for the first pose. So this is a time to pause the video, and if you need to bring any equipment necessary to begin. Sit on your support. Use the blocks by your side to lift and lengthen the spine. And adjust your body weight on the crown of your buttock bones. Now take a moment to release the thighs down to the floor, and at the same time observe the movement of the belly in. So just make sure here that, to clarify, I don't want you to bring the belly in. As you're adjusting your body weight, you will notice that the belly and the internal organs are moving back to the spine. Then go back into lengthening the spine. Stay on the crown of your sit bones. Join the palms together in front of your heart. Allow your gaze to be forward, but you're not particularly seeing what is in front of you. Your gaze is a bit vague, and you can feel your peripheral vision to expand. And slowly allow your eyes to close and bow your head to your heart. Keep your chest nice and open as you bow your head to your heart. And take a brief moment to dedicate the next hour, the next minutes to your practice. Turn your attention within. Tune in with your breath. And then release the palms. Lift the head and allow your eyes to open. Change the crossing of the legs. Now, lean to the side and take the flash of your buttocks and move it out to the side, just to make sure that you're sitting on the sitting bone. And then lean to the other side and do the same to the other side. And then go back into moving your weight in such a way that you have your shoulders over your hips and you can feel your body weight supported by the crown of the buttock bones. As you lengthen the spine, observe again the belly that is not pushing forward, and feel how naturally the belly and the organs are moving back to the spine. And bring the arms by your side with the palms facing up and the arms overhead. And by allowing the buttock bones to be heavy on your support, lengthen the spine so you can feel the length of the side body. And you're not pushing your floating ribs forward, not here. Lengthening the spine. And you're feeling the extension of the spine, the back spine and the front spine at the same time. Then see if you can bring the palms together without bending the elbows. You want the upper arms to be in line with the ears, pressing the palms together and extend through the fingertips. If you feel that your neck has no space to breathe, keep the palms separated and then release and relax. Okay, moving to the next pose, Ardha Virabhadrasana, we will need support for the palms and for the head. If you don't have breaks, you can use books, yes? I'm sure you can find some books around the house. For your head, to support your head, you can use a blanket, folded like this. So you have the bricks for the palms and the blanket for the head. You move the props to the side, what you're not using. Now, bring the big toes together and open the knees apart. Enough so you can rest the ribs on the inner thighs. Now place the palms or the fingertips on the floor and allow your buttocks to be heavy on your heels. Feel how the buttocks are heavy, and you can feel the top of the thigh to press down the ankle bone against the mat and the floor. This heaviness you want to keep when you're walking your hands forward. So you start walking your hands forward, but you make sure that you don't lift the buttocks from the heels. Move the blocks as necessary to rest the palms on the blocks. Don't allow the elbows to move down. Keep pushing the elbows up towards the ceiling. Extending the arms. Move the blocks if needed. And now keep your gaze forward. And keep extending your side body and the palms and the blocks forward. When you see that this is how much you go with the pelvis still heavy on the heels, then allow the head to release and rest the forehead on the blanket or the blocks, your chosen support. Breathing in and out here, and go back into feeling the heaviness of the pelvis, and also you can feel like the top of the thigh is working, is engaged enough to keep pressing the ankles down to the floor. And now go back into feeling the breath. And as you observe the breath, you might notice also that the belly naturally has moved back into the spine. And place the palms on the floor and push yourself to come up into sitting. Move the props to the side. For our next pose, we will use the chair. Place the chair. We're moving into variation of Ardha Chancrasana, but with the chair. So you place the palms on the edge of the seat of the chair, and then you want to start walking back with the feet hip width apart until you create some kind of a reverse V. You want to keep the spine straight and the legs engaged. Now, because you have your support here, the asana is becoming a bit more approachable. We want to notice what is happening to the body when we engage specific parts of the body. So bring your attention to the top of the thighs and try to lift the kneecaps and engage the top of the thighs and feel the thighs moving back. As if you want to take the thigh bone on the wall behind you. As you are in this pose, bring your attention to the belly. And again, observe how when you engage the legs, the abdomen are moving back into the spine. And then diaphragm is moving up. And then walk in, hands on your hips, and come up. Now we will repeat this pose, but this time without the chair. So we move the chair out to the side. And come into a tabletop. Make sure that the feet are in line. Tuck the toes, and for today have the feet as wide as the mat. And lift the knees and move the hips up and back. Engage the top of the thighs and push the top of the thighs back. Lengthen the spine, press the palms to the floor. Now lift the toes from the floor. Lift the toes from the floor, just the toes. The base of the toes are on the floor. And as you lift the toes, feel how this is engaging the top of the thighs. And you might also be able to feel how the abdomen are moving into the spine. Now, as you walk in with the feet, try to keep the engagement of the legs. Release the toes down to the floor. Bring your hands to your hips, lengthen the spine, and then come up into Utthita. For the next pose, we will use the chair. So again, go and bring your chair to your mat. Starting on the right side, place the chair by the side of your right leg. Bring your hands to your hips, lift the right foot, turn the knee and the foot out to the side in 90 degrees, pointing to the right side. And make sure you're not here, so press this left standing leg from the outer hip down to the heel and push the femur bone into the hip socket. Lift the chest. Now go into the right leg. Make sure that the little toe is in line with the heel, so you don't have the heel coming in. And place the outer palm in the inner knee and help your knee to move back as you're moving the right buttock forward. Lift the chest. Breathing in and out, and you want to move the knee out, back behind you, and the buttock coming forward. Now, come to the toes and go and take your ankle and slowly bring the heel into the left inner thigh. Press the heel into the inner thigh and the outer left thigh to the heel. Lift the chest, and from the and you still try to bring the right buttock in and the knee out, but make sure that the pelvis is symmetrical, pointing forward. Bring the arms up overhead and extend through the fingertips. Exhale and release down. Other side. Move the chair to the left side, the left leg. Bring the foot on the chair. You want the heel to be somewhat in line with the arch of the standing leg. It's not forward, it's not further back. Press the outer, the heel of the standing leg down. Move the femur bone into the hip socket. And with the left hand, keep the left hand on the top of the thigh, and imagine you're rolling your thigh out and pressing the outer hip forward. So the knee is moving back and the hip is moving forward. Feel how this is engaging the area. And then slowly take your ankle and bring the inner heel at the very root of the right inner thigh. Pressing the heel into the inner thigh and the outer thigh into the heel. And extend from the inner hip out to the knee. Lift the chest, arms up. Sirsasana, 3 pose. Exhale, release, and down. Now we will repeat the pose. We will go immediately into 3 pose. If you found that it was difficult for you to balance, you can keep the chair nearby. Make sure that at least 2 of the legs of the chair are on the mat, so it's not sliding, and you can use the backrest of the chair to support you. This doesn't mean that you're leaning to the chair, it's just there to give you some support if needed. The first prop is your body, and you try to be supported from your body first. So now, you can hold the backrest of the chair, lift the, we're starting with the right leg, okay. So we can have the right foot pressing down, lift the left leg up, take the left ankle, bring the heel into the inner thigh, lift the chest, and you can stay here holding your ankle or hands to the hip. If you feel you can balance, you can bring both arms over the head. You can even try with the palms together. Don't forget the heel is pressing into the inner thigh and the inner thigh to the heel. And the right buttock, the left buttock is pushing forward and the knee out, back. Exhale, release, and other side. Move the chair if you're using the chair. If you don't need the chair, it's the same thing. Bring the right foot up, take the ankle, extend the heel, and bring the heel into the left inner thigh, and the inner thigh pressing to the hip. The knees moving back behind you, and the buttock is moving forward. And you can either balance using, you can be supported with the chair or bring the arms over the head. Lengthen the spine. You don't want to be here. Remember to press from the hip in, so the outer thighs are moving into the midline. And then release. So we're moving the chair out to the side for the next pose. Tirkonasana. Bring the fingertips in front of your chest. Inhale, exhale, spread the feet wide apart. You can step the feet out, you can jump the feet out. Now, bring your hands to your hips and turn the right foot into 90 degrees. Lift the toes and press the heel down. Now, lift the arms to your side and then exhale. Start to bend to the side and then come up. Toes forward and other side. Left foot out in 90 degrees, heel in line with the arch. Press the heel down, lift the toes, and then bend to the side. And then come up and toes in. Now we will repeat this, but some of you will need blocks. So have them blocks on the back of your mat, and now spread the feet wide apart, starting from the right side. Turn the right foot out in 90 degrees, press the heel down and lift the toes and keep extending the bottom of your foot, the sole of your foot. Try to keep extending and then bend to the side and support your hand on the block. Keep the left hand on your hip and move the elbow back. Now here, keep extending the foot, lengthen the toes, and allow the knee to move out and bring the buttocks forward. So this is pushing forward and the back thigh back, and lift the arm up. Now extend the foot and slowly bring the toes down to the floor. And keep pushing with the buttocks, the right buttock forward. And see if you can lower maybe your prop. And come up. And toes forward. Moving to the other side, left side. Now, press the heel down and lift the toes up. And bend to the side and keep extending from the bottom of your foot. Support your hand on the block. Right hand is on the waist, elbow back. Keep extending the sole of your foot. And then slowly bring the toes down and keep pushing the left buttock forward and the right thigh back. You can lower your support here. And you can bring the right arm up towards the ceiling. Keep pushing your right buttock forward, left thigh back, and then press the feet, come up, and toes forward, fingertips in front of your chest, and you can bend the knees to jump the feet together. Now, we will repeat Utthita Tirkonasana, but we will enter the pose from Utthita Tirkonasana. You will still use your blocks, so have the blocks on the back of your mat. And you can step or jump the feet out to the side. Starting from the right side, turn the right foot out in 90 degrees, heel in line with the arch. Inhale and then exhale, bend the right foot and bring the right hand on the block. Now use your right knee to push back into your arm and observe when you do this movement how the thigh, the right thigh is changing and is engaged and is pushing forward. This is the reason now we are in this pose, to give us this information. Now moving the knee back into the arm and allowing the outer thigh and buttock to come forward. Straighten the right leg. So come into Trikonasana and then press the feet, come up, feet forward. Other side. Heel in, foot out in 90 degrees. Exhale, bend. Bring the left hand to your block. The height of the block is up to you. It can be this high, this, or this. Yes. Now, move the knee back into your arm and thigh, hip forward, knee back, hip forward. Keep moving the knee back. Straighten the left leg. Pushing the right hip in and forward. Left arm up. Sorry, right arm up. Press the feet down. Inhale, come all the way up. Feet forward. And jump or step the feet together. Tadasana. Moving on into Warrior 2. So, fingertips in front of your chest, step or jump the feet apart. Starting from the right side, move the heel in and the toes out, so your foot is in 90 degrees and your heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Inhale and then exhale, bend the right knee. And like before, you're moving the knee back and the hip forward. The knee is moving back and the hip is moving forward, but don't allow the right thigh to collapse forward. The back thigh is pressing back. The back thigh is pressing back and the front hip is moving forward and the back thigh is moving back and the front knee is moving back. Turn your gaze to look over your middle finger of your right palm, but keep your mind on the back arm, so you're not leaning forward with your torso, and keep the shoulders over the hips. Press the feet, inhale, come up, foot forward, other side. Left foot out in 90 degrees, heel in line with the arch of the back foot, press the back heel, and now bend the front knee. As you bend the knee, move the knee out and the hip forward, and take a look and make sure that the foot is in 90 degrees and you don't have the toes pointing out or in. Turn your face, gaze over the middle finger of your left palm. Keep your shoulders over the hips and you're not moving forward towards the knee with the torso. Knee back, hip forward, back thigh back. Press the feet, come up, feet forward, fingertips in front of your chest, and jump or step the feet together, Tadasana. For the next pose, I would like you to first observe what we're doing before you attempt it. So we're moving into Ardha Chancrasana. So it's a balancing pose. Move anything that might be in the way. And I will show you how you can also use the chair for this pose, especially if it's the first time you're attempting the pose. So you have the chair facing you, and then you go into feet wide apart. And for this pose, you want the chair to be about 1 foot away from your foot. Yes. Open the arms, and this is how we're entering the pose. From here we go into Utthita Tirkonasana, moving the hip forward, then into Utthita Tirkonasana, knee out and hip forward, and then we step, bring the hand to the hip and step the back foot in, take the hand on the chair and keep moving the knee back behind you and the right hip forward as you lift the back leg and slowly straightening the standing leg. And you can stay here and bring the arm up towards the ceiling, and you can gaze forward or you can gaze the thumb of the left arm. Coming out of the pose, same thing, hand to your hip, bend the knee, step back, Utthita Tirkonasana, then Trikonasana, press the feet, come up, feet forward. Okay, so now it's your turn to try it. So if you think that you need the chair, use the chair. The next one I will show with the block for those who don't need the chair. So we start from here. We have the block 1 foot away from the foot and in line with the little toe. Inhale, exhale, Trikonasana. Bend the knee into Utthita Tirkonasana, hand to your hip. Step forward, step in with the back foot, hand on the block, and slowly lifting the back leg up to the air, moving the knee behind you, the thigh forward, open the chest. You feel comfortable, you can turn the palm, the arm up towards the ceiling. You can turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then slowly bending the knee, the standing leg, step back, Utthita Tirkonasana, Trikonasana, press the feet up, foot forward, and step in Tadasana. Okay, we have 2 sides. This is a good thing. So we're moving on the other side. Have your block or your chair ready. Feet wide apart. You want your block to be 1 foot away from your foot. Open the arms. Exhale to Trikonasana. Remind the action of pushing your left hip forward. Hand to your hip. Exhale, bend the knee. Utthita Tirkonasana. Knee behind you. Hip forward. And then step the back foot in. Keep pressing the knee back and the hip forward as you lift the back leg up and straightening the left leg. Lift the arm over the ceiling. You can keep your gaze forward or turn the gaze up towards the ceiling. Yes, when I'm trying to balance, my voice is changing a bit. Okay, and slowly hand to your hip. Bend the knee, step back, and then Tirkonasana, knee back, thigh and hip forward, Trikonasana, thigh forward, hip forward, press the feet, come up, and then jump or step in Tadasana. Moving into Virabhadrasana. So open the feet wide apart. You want the heels to be at the very end of the back of the mat. Hands on your hips, lift the chest, engage the thighs, moving the thighs back and the buttocks forward. And then exhale, come forward, hands on the mat, under the shoulders. Keep your back concave. And if you cannot reach the floor and you find that you're over curving your back here, use your blocks or the chair. If you're comfortable, start to walk the palms back to bring them in line with the feet and also under the hips, and then bend the elbows and rest the crown of your head to the floor. Keep your thighs engaged. Keep your hips in line with the ankles. Don't allow the hips to move back. Remember, if you cannot rest the head on the floor, you can bring the forearms on the floor and you lean a bit forward. Yeah. If you are resting the head on the floor, now come up and start walking your hands forward. Engage your thighs and your legs, moving the sit bones into the body. Bring your hands to your hips and try not to lean backwards or forwards as you come up. And then step or jump the feet together. Tadasana. Now for the next pose is a seated pose, Janu sirsasana. We need some support. So it's either 1 or 2 blankets. You can use foam blocks or blocks if you need a higher support and a harder support. So place your support here. You might also need a belt, and if you don't have a belt, you can use a towel, a t-shirt, or if you a belt from the rope. I have a belt. Some of you might not need the belt even. So you sit on the edge of your support. The legs are straight in front of you, and then you start by bending the right knee and allow the knee to come to the side and bring the heel in line with the inner hip. So the heel is in line with the inner hip, and the toes, make sure they are not under your thigh. Now use your hands, your fingertips to the floor to lift you, and make sure that the hips, the pelvis, and the shoulders are pointing forward and you're not open to the side. Lift the right arm up, lengthen the spine, and then turn the palm to point to the right side and take the outer side of your foot. Now this is where you might need the belt. If you cannot reach, you have the belt, and with the right hand you hold the belt and the left hand is supporting you. Lengthen the spine and open the chest to the left side. Don't allow the right hip to lift from the floor or move forward. Now you can stay here, or you can lengthen the spine, bring the belly over the right thigh, the left thigh, bend the elbow, and fold your body over your right leg. Now this is the time where you can take the foot or the belt with both hands. Inhale, lengthen the spine to come up. Exhale, release. Now, other side. Bend the left knee, drop the knee out to the side, bring the heel into the inner hip. Make sure that the toes are not under the thigh. They're just by the inner thigh. If you know that you're using the block or already have if you know you're using the belt, already have the belt ready, allow the sit bones to be heavy. Again, find the crown of your sit bones. You can already feel the abdomen moving into the spine. Lengthen the spine. You can stay here or take the belt with the left hand, use your right hand by your hips to support you, lift the chest and turn to the right side. Allow the internal organs to move to the other side and then try to fall over your right leg. Both hands on the belt or the chair. Lengthen the spine. Keep the sit bones on the floor. As you fold over your right leg, you can rest the forehead on the shin. Inhale, lift the chest up. And then exhale, release. Both legs straight. Dandasana. Exhale. Come out of the support. Move the support out to the side. The belt out to the side. For the next pose, you will need one block. If you don't have block, you can do the bridge pose without a block. So I will show you with the block and without the block. So first thing you do, you come to the center of your mat and you try to lie down in a straight line. So you press the palms down behind you and you try to bring both elbows to the floor at the same time. Then slide the arms and extend the spine to the floor. Keep the knees bent. Inhale and then exhale. Lift the pelvis up by pressing the feet down to the floor. Roll the arms under your shoulders and you can interlace the fingers behind your back. If you don't have a block, you will stay here for a few more minutes. Otherwise, you can lift the heels, take your block at the high level and place it under the pelvis and rest the heels down to the floor. You want the block to be on the sacrum, not on the spine, not on the pelvis, more on the sacrum. As you're here, allow the belly to be soft, like what we've practiced so far. You want the belly and the abdomen to move back to the spine naturally, because you are engaging the legs and you lift the sternum. We're still here, breathing in and out. You can even close your eyes. If you don't have a block under the sacrum, you're probably tired by now and you can lower the hips down. And those of you with the block as well, press the feet to lift the pelvis and remove the block and lower the pelvis down to the floor. Hug the right knee to the chest and extend the left leg to the floor. Right foot to the floor, bend the left leg and then bring the left knee to the chest and straighten the right leg to the floor. to the floor, bend the right knee, roll to the side, press the hand with the head heavy, you come up. For Shavasana, so you have your folded blanket, again sitting at the center of your mat, and you want both elbows to touch the floor at the same time. Now the blanket, you want it to support your head and your neck, so it comes up to the shoulders, but the shoulders are not on the blanket. Arms are out to the side like 45 degrees. If the palms are on your mat, it means that they are too close to you and it doesn't allow the shoulders to rest in their proper position. So give some space on your armpit and open the arms just a bit, 45 degrees from your body, not too open. Palms facing up, allow the feet to roll out, close your eyes. Feel your body heavy on the floor, and completely and deeply release, relax, and let go. Bring your attention back to the breath. Mentally note to the self that soon you're coming out of the pose. Bend the elbows and rest the palms on the belly. Bend the knees. Roll to the side in fixed position. Press the left hand on the floor. Head is heavy and it's the last one to come up as you come up into seated. So thank you for practicing with me. If you like the practice, give me a thumbs up. If there is something specific you want to practice or you have questions, leave comments or feel free to send me a personal message in my Facebook account or group or anything. Thank you. Stay safe.